Joining me now is Will Goodwin, Director of Operations and NYSE Institute. Good afternoon, Will.
Good afternoon, Trinity. It's great to be here, and what an incredible afternoon out in Denver, Colorado.
And here, right?
And
I
here.
mean, the governor there is getting ready to close out the U.S. equity markets here and around the world. So let's talk about everything it took to get to this pivotal moment.
Sure. You know, this engagement is certainly special for us, Trinity, for what it means for Colorado, for our listed companies based there, but it's something that we're quite used to. For 231 years, the New York Stock Exchange has served as a bridge between public policy and commerce. And this event is really about celebrating Colorado and its economic trajectory, but also explaining the important role that public markets play in driving that inclusive economic growth in Colorado and communities all around the world.
And speaking of, here and all around the world, let's talk about how the NYSE and NYSE Institute is going about establishing, harnessing those relationships with leaders, domestic and abroad.
Sure. Well, in many cases, those relationships have existed for nearly 232 years.
Yeah.
We're used to welcoming world leaders and U.S. policymakers here at 11 Wall Street. But this year, we're making a specific push to get out on the road into communities and help connect our companies who are on the ground creating jobs, helping provide investment opportunities for folks all across the United States, and connecting them with public policy leaders and decision makers.
And you mentioned boots on the ground, right?
Sure.
Really starting those relationships wherever they may be. Talk
Absolutely.
to me about the initiatives that the NYSE Institute is launching and what we have to look forward to.
Sure. Well, as you know, September will be the UN General Assembly, the 79th UN General Assembly. So we're going to look forward to welcoming leaders from all around the world here to 11 Wall Street. But we frequently host these type of engagements like you're seeing in Colorado, where U.S. CEOs and policymakers are coming together, and they're talking about how we can work together to help, build great companies, expand economic opportunity all across the United States, and so we'll continue to do so.
And speaking of working together, what should our viewers look out for when it comes to the connection and intersection between global affairs and capital?
Sure. Well, Trinity, this year, voters in more than 80 nations and territories around the world, representing about half of the world's GDP, are headed to the polls in elections. So our viewers should certainly be staying engaged and paying attention to what candidates are saying about economic issues. And we'll continue to highlight policymakers and their plans for the future here at 11 Wall Street and also out on the road like we are in Colorado.
A lot to look out for. Thank you so much for joining me.
Of course. Great to be here.